Hi, I'm Russ, one of the music teachers here at Hickies. Today I'm going to be taking you through a video which is going to explain your open chords, and it's going to be part of a series of videos hoping to essentially demystify the world of the guitar. It's such a complex instrument and there's so much to learn, and we're going to be looking at doing everything from your open chords to scales to many more things. Or for people just picking up the guitar today, or for seasoned guitarists that just want to up their game with a few hints and tricks along the way. As I said, today we're going to be looking at chords and playing your first songs. I hope you enjoy. So first things first, I'm going to talk to you about fretting and essentially what that means, because it's one of the most important aspects of basically playing your chords. What fretting means is when you essentially press your string against the wood. And believe it or not, there is actually a right and a wrong way to fret. You've got to imagine almost that your fingertips need to be like ballerina feet. So it's the very, very tips of your fingers for the vast majority of chords, unless they're obviously bar chords. Now, in addition to this, there is actually a sweet spot and a weak spot in your fretting position in your frets. Your strong spot is just before your next fret, but your weak spot is just behind it. A lot of people think that you need to go for the middle of a fret in order to get the note to ring true, but this isn't the case. You only need to put in a fraction of the effort you would in the middle to where you would in a perfect world. For example, if I was to fret on fret 3 here, I would be picking around there or fretting in my position there. So here's going to be the first chord that we're going to look at together. And it's a classic, it's the chord of A. Now, to start with your chord of A, we're going to put our first finger on fret 2 of the D string. We're going to put our second finger on fret 2 of the G string and our third finger on fret 2 of the B string. Now, although I said previously you want to get your sweet spot into fretting, sometimes that's just not possible and you're just going to have to see how good you can get it in the moment. So I'm going to have a go at strumming that, and it should sound like this. I'm going to pick out everything individually. The next chord that we're going to have a look at is a bit more tricky, but sounds amazing. It's the chord of D. Now to do this, we take our first finger and plonk it on fret 2 of the G string. We take our second finger and plonk it on fret 2 of the thinnest E string. And then in between, we're going to put our third finger on fret 3 of the B string. Now this is imperative that you have your ballerina feet fingers kind of established, just so that you don't block off any of the other notes from your other fingers. And that one sounds like this. And to test them, I would always pick out your open strings and your fretted strings, just so you know if any strings are not ringing out, which one that you need to change. So the next chord that we're going to have a look at is kind of a tricky one, but once you get this, you're pretty much guaranteed to get them all. It's the chord of C. Now to get C is a pretty whopping stretch where we take our first finger and put it on fret 1 of the B string, our second finger on fret 2 of the A string, and our third finger on fret 3 of the A string. And all of those sounding individually. So then folks, we're nearly at the end now. We're just going to do the 2 last chords of our 5 chord exercise here. And we're going to do my favourite open chord, which is going to be the chord of E. So to do this chord, we take our first finger and put it on fret 1 of the G string. We take our third finger and put it on fret 2 of the D string. And then we take our second finger and put it on fret 2 of the A string. And for this, we pick all of the strings. Quite a rich, robust sounding chord. Last chord now, we're going to do the chord of G, which is a different kind of challenge because this time it's to stretch more vertically than horizontally like your C. In order to do this, we take our first finger and put it on fret 2 of your A string. We take our second finger and put it on fret 3 of the E string. And then we take our third finger and put it on fret 3 of the thinnest E string. And like the E, we pick all of your strings. So it's A, picking from the A string down, D, picking from the D string down, C, picking from the A string down, E, picking from the thickest E string down, and finally G, picking from the thickest E string down as well. And now we're going to play some songs using these chords. So just to have a bit of fun with them and to take them from being an arbitrary exercise to being something worth doing. So we're going to have a look at 3 songs. We're going to do Wild Thing, Hey Joe, and Knockin' on Heaven's Door. So first things first, we'll have a look at Wild Thing. So Wild Thing goes... So it's 2 A's, 2 D's, E's, 2 off, and then back to your D's. So that one more time. Then we've got Hey Joe by Jimi Hendrix, which is simply C, G, D, A, and then E. And the strum pattern for that is roughly... You can ad-lib some more strums like this, for example. And finally, half of Knocking on Heaven's Door, because technically it has an A minor in there as well, but for the purposes of this, we're just going to make it a bit more fun and a bit more streamlined. To do that, your chords are G, D, then to C, and you can just strum those once a piece and you get a very good effect from it. So I hope you've had fun with chords today. It's your first step with learning how to play the guitar, really, and it unlocks an absolute world under your fingertips and you can start playing songs for real. Take care, and I'll see you on the next episode associated with the Hickies Music School.